Boris Johnson has accepted a fixed penalty notice and paid the fine for breach of the COVID regulations during lockdown.
Today I've received a fixed penalty notice from the Metropolitan Police relating to an event in Downing Street on the 19th of June 2020.
Does that mean he now has a criminal conviction? I'm here to answer that question. I'm Daniel Barnett, a barrister practicing in central London, and I'm also the presenter of the Legal Hour on LBC Radio. A fixed penalty notice is not a criminal conviction, in the same way that a fixed penalty notice for parking is not a criminal conviction. What it is an indication that the police believe there is a compelling case against you and that if they went to court they would win. What they choose to do, instead of taking you to the magistrates' court and instead of taking Boris Johnson, Rishi Sunak and Carrie Johnson to the magistrates' court to prosecute, they issue them with a fixed penalty notice which the individuals can then accept by paying the fine. That is not a criminal conviction. It simply means that the police believe there is a compelling case and enough evidence to secure a conviction if they took it to court. Now, people might have very, very good reasons for accepting a fixed penalty notice and paying the fine, even if they don't think they're actually guilty. First of all, there is the cost and the aggravation and the potential embarrassment of going to a criminal trial. At the moment, Boris Johnson, Rishi Sunak and Carrie Johnson can say absolutely truthfully that they have not actually been convicted of this offence. They have not got a criminal conviction against their name. They've merely accepted a fixed penalty notice. That is true. It might be a slight element of sophistry because we all know that the fact they accepted the fixed penalty notice means the evidence against them was strong, but it is nevertheless true. Now, Boris Johnson might be thinking right now, I would rather be able to say that than go to a magistrate's court. All the evidence would be paraded in public. The press would be camped outside that court watching every movement. There would be reporters inside the magistrate's court. I would have to give evidence. I would have to be cross-examined by a barrister on my different and potentially inconsistent accounts. And I don't want that to happen. The publicity of that, the downside of that, might be the thinking of Boris Johnson, is far, far, far worse than simply accepting the fixed penalty notice and saying, I haven't been convicted. This is not proof I've committed a crime. There is technically no appeal process from a fixed penalty notice. The person who receives the notice can't appeal it and say, hello judge, hello tribunal, can you please set this aside? Can you rip it up? Because I didn't actually commit the crime. The only option that the person who receives the fixed penalty notice has is to say, I'm not going to pay it. And at that point, the police will then decide, or the CPS will then decide, whether or not to prosecute in the magistrate's court. And Boris Johnson presumably doesn't want to take the risk that if he doesn't pay the fine, he will then be formally prosecuted. Now, of course, one doesn't know whether he's actually guilty of a criminal offence, the many offences associated with lockdown, or not, but the very fact that he's chosen to pay the fixed penalty notice only means two things. It means, one, the police think there is a case. Well, the police have thought there are cases against many people and been wrong. And two, he has made a decision, whether a commercial decision, a political decision, whatever it might be, he has made a decision that it is easier for him to pay that fine than it is to go to the magistrate's court and be prosecuted and be cross-examined and risk a criminal conviction. But right now, Boris Johnson does not have a criminal conviction. I'm Barrister Daniel Barnett. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like this video, please do subscribe. You can see a subscribe link there, and I regularly release explainer videos on English law, and here is a video that you might like. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.